Good morning, here we are again back in the attic with another update. Now downstairs in the bedroom, the light was in the middle of the room. So with the light going outwards from 4 LED spots, I illuminated the board all the way around very well, except for when I got between the light and the board, and then I cast rather an ugly shadow. So when I come up here, well, firstly, I don't have a flat ceiling. Secondly, I didn't want to cast a shadow with these things on the board. So the lights was always going to go in this triangle. And when I put them up, it was basically a bit of a guess. And now I've had a little change. Before we get there, remember I mentioned possibly a tunnel on the other side of the room? Let's go have a look at that. So, with the aid of a highly technical piece of equipment, a cardboard box, I hung it over the back scene. I thought, does this work? Because what I don't want is a uninterrupted long run. I want to create different rooms. And it does work. I can certainly work with that. I'm going to give it a go. So the thing I noticed when I actually started putting trains on here, and we'll treat my little on and off ramp, my re-railer, as a train. So once you put it on here, on the track, because the light was down low here, it's casting a shadow. So what I was trying to look at was the shadow side of a train, and it just didn't look right. So I've known for a few weeks that I'm going to have to move the lights up, and it was at this height. Well, now it's up here. I'll show you what I've done. Starting with the light over the fiddle yard, there was no need to move that. That was my original mounting point where that puncher is. Now we've raised it up. It's almost, but not quite, to the edge of the board. And it does shine the light in such a manner. Something here on the front, on the rails at the front, will be illuminated. What's at the back is still illuminated. You can see all the colours a lot better. The one at the far end, I haven't raised that. I didn't feel the need, but it's only a 5-minute job to do so, if should I wish. Now on this side, because of the window, I've had to raise it a lot higher so that the window will actually open. So now I'm just beyond the edge of the board. I can still reach in and open the window. In fact, you have to be able to open the window, otherwise it gets too hot up here. And of course it had to be able to swing past the light, which it does. But what it means now is that anything on the front of the board is properly illuminated. So what I've got now is slightly better position of the light, so that the stuff that's on the front of the board is illuminated rather than the light being kind of like up here on the wall and behind it. But this one has had to go a little higher than that because of the window. And it is now facing outwards as opposed to facing inwards. So there's one last chance, and that's with a bit of timber. So if I pop that up there, what I can then do is to take this light which is on this timber and then transfer it to there, and then it's going to be pointing down. or I could even angle it a bit like that, so that it's most definitely pointing down towards the board. All I've got to do is get it high enough so that it doesn't become a head hazard. Although it's only becoming a head hazard when I'm doing the scenery, because I've got a stool on wheels that I'm going to have up here to sit on. So I'm not going to be stood up here at this height anyway. I can be sat down here. So putting this timber on, and if I put 4 screws in, it's not going to do that under weight. It won't twist, not with 4 screws into the main timbers here. And it's coming up to tea time, so there isn't time to do it now. And sometimes it's best to actually... God, look at the shine on that. You poor old man. Never used to be like that. So it's always best to sleep on a problem before you go ahead with it. When I've just spent the time moving it now, I don't want to spend the time moving it there, deciding I don't like it and move it back again. You know, you got to weigh the pros and cons while you're during your sleep. Just like with the tunnel. You know, I put that cardboard up there yesterday, I ran some trains underneath it, and I thought, yeah, I can work with that. I can get some tunnel mouths on it. Obviously, it's not going to be that shape, is it? That's just there as a will it work, won't it work sort of thing, and it didn't cost me a penny to do it, because we've all got huge cardboard boxes just after Christmas to get rid of. So that over there will happen. This, putting it on the timber so that it's lighting in that direction, that's definitely a possibility. Because with this tube, obviously it feels a little bit dark at the back of the board. But then these aren't high wattage tubes anyway. These are only sort of like 23 watt tubes from Screwfix. They're never powerful. That's why you have so many of them. Or rather, you have the low wattage so you can have so many of them. I mean, what have I got up here? It's about 100. That's going to be, I think that was a 19, so about 119. The one behind me. You know, at best I've only got 140 watts of light for a room that's 20 foot by 10 foot, basically. I can see me moving these again, just not tonight. Cheerio.